Story 1. I would die for a private chef. I love good, fresh, and healthy food, but I never have time to properly cook something nice between job, university, and family stuff. Story 2. Sports cars and motorcycles. I've been dreaming about them since childhood, so I definitely do that. Forget the haters and the need to be unostentatious. Story 3. Buying an island and leaving society, but not in a gross, predatory way like that one guy. I'd have dirt bike tracks, a replica of the Nürburgring racetrack, a 40-car garage, and a 1,300 to 1,500 square foot home. Story 4. Funding both sides of a civil war just to see who wins. Bets will be made. Also, I would complain publicly that even though I'm rich, life is hard. People don't realize my struggle. Story 5. Suddenly reminded of a story I read on the internet years ago and never really verified the validity of, about a random person saying they met Jim Carrey one time at a restaurant. He ate all the food off their tray, said, "No one's ever going to believe you," then ran out and shortly returned, apologized, and bought everyone at the table another meal and drinks. Story 6. Meal preparation, laundry service, house cleaning, all home maintenance done by a professional. Basically anything boring that must be done to sustain me and my family. Story 7. My kids seem to think I'm rich despite having a negative balance. A bonus is that they appear to think they have a comfortable high life living in a council flat. Story 8. The one thing would be a personal trainer to come daily and a personal, fully equipped gym. The other things would be stay-in cleaning personnel, a gardener to maintain my designed garden, an in-house cook that would follow my sports diet and also manage groceries and other needs, along with a personnel manager, also known as a butler. A nice, 10-bedroom house with a home cinema and gaming room, a dedicated board games room, a garage for 4 cars and about 10 bikes and motorbikes. The boat would be at my lake house, together with the dirt bike in the shed by the stable. The helipad wouldn't be so close as to not scare the horses. A full-time, almost veterinarian to keep them in good shape and tend to my pheasants and peacocks, both the regular and the albino. Story 9. Dropping massive tips for no reason other than I have the money to do so. Well, my reason is to make someone's day a little better, but a lot of rich people who do it just do it to flaunt cash. Story 10. Throwing money at any and every practical problem or inconvenience and not giving it a second thought. House needs cleaning? Hire a weekly cleaning person. Don't want to cook? Hire a private chef. Need something done and don't have the time? Pay someone else to do it. It's also wild how many rules can be bent or broken when you offer to cut a check. How many things you can make happen your way with enough money. Want a private tour of a United Nations educational, scientific, and cultural organization World Heritage Site? Cut a check. Want the restaurant closed except for you and your date? Cut a check. Want something faster, done a certain way, not offered? Cut a check and not give it a second thought. Story 11. High-end liquor collection. The best I have right now is a $400 bottle of scotch. Lafroig 25-year. It's tasty, but not a lot of people like the heavy smoke. Given the price, I don't feel right drinking it alone, so it waits for friends to visit, and then only friends that are willing to join me in a sip. With a lot more money, I wouldn't feel so bad dropping $300 or more on a good bottle of liquor for an evening sip after a challenging day. Story 12. How rich? Like comfortable rich or ultra rich? Comfortable rich, helping out my immediate and extended family more time with friends, more volunteering. Ultra rich, philanthropic things. Building communities for seniors, single parents, homes for lower income. Story 13. The funny thing is when people get money, substantial money, that they earned from proper hard work, not from TikTok or YouTube, they just don't do the majority of the stuff here. Buy a Ferrari? Nope. Pay for a chauffeur? Nope. Buy a house? Yes, sometimes, not always. Buy a boat? A few, but most realize it's a waste. Nice holidays for sure. Turn left on the plane? Yep, I do. Pay bills? Yep, very true, and the main go-to. What I've found is that in nearly all cases, people become very thoughtful of others and charitable. When I became wealthy, all I could think about was how do I make sure I help others. So I set about housing families that just couldn't afford society's normal rents. A housing association of sorts. They don't know what I have, but they know I am not charging 100% but 60%. That 60% then goes back into helping others. Anyway, felt I needed to make a comment. Story 14. If I could, every Christmas I would buy as many $100 gift cards as I could and would hand them to the greeters at Walmart and tell them to hand them out. One to every family until they were gone. Story 15. The only thing I am jealous of with rich people is private jets. Rich people seem just as messed up as the rest of us, use mainly the same technology, and the food quality gap is smaller than it has ever been, but private jets are extremely luxurious. Being able to essentially be in a condo in the sky would be super awesome. Story 16. I would like to try the Lewis Black School of one-upmanship. Every rich guy buys houses they don't live in, cars they'll never drive, and art they won't see just to flaunt their wealth. What Mr. Black suggested and what I would do is to hire a lovely young lady in her 20s or 30s, pay her a handsome salary, either low six figures or high five figures, with the best medical and dental insurance available and a retirement plan. Her job title, my personal assistant. Because if I am that rich, my life should be managed efficiently at all times. Story 17. Going to strip clubs often. Can sleep with top-class, model-like women by paying them $15,000 per night. Can experience any kind of fantasy in a Nevada brothel without any worry about money. Can literally do a complete porn video kind of sex with an hourglass figure woman for money. Can have sex with a MILF prostitute. I'll do all these by throwing the money. Story 18. Selfishly. Buying sports and exotic cars, a yacht, and being able to frequently go on vacation. I already have some experience with these things, but being able to have a life where they're just a part of my normal life would be great. Unselfishly. Retiring and spoiling my friends and family. I would love to make their dreams come true, whether it's a dream house, car, vacation, or anything. Story 19. Collecting classic cars. If I could own a Ferrari 250 GTO, I totally would, but I never will in a million years. More attainable would be a second-generation Dodge Viper, a Ferrari F355, a Porsche 993 Turbo, and the like. Story 20. This may sound weird, but I would have a new pair of underwear and socks every day. Wear them once and then donate them. Nothing feels better than having a fresh set of underwear and socks. Story 21. Hire out mundane household things such as laundry, cleaning, landscaping, lawn care, and financial tasks. It's often said about guys who make it to the major leagues that the club ensures they only have to worry about baseball. Life seems to become a lot easier when you can just focus on your craft, your health, your family, and whatever you want to do for fun. Story 22. 1. Vacations. Investing in real estate, but not increasing the rent excessively. Save for retirement. Buy homes for my family members so they can have an easier life. Buy a new car that has a good reputation for lasting a long time, like a Toyota. Story 23. I would like to own a dog, specifically a Doberman, and be able to afford winter sports, such as snowboarding. I guess this is actually middle class, which means I'm poor. Still what I want. Story 24. Traveling wherever I want to at all times. If I want to go see my favorite sports team playing on the road in a cool city, I can go for the night or the weekend. If I want to go see some incredible city around the world, I can whenever I want. That sounds awesome. Also, always knowing the bills are paid and there's more money coming in sounds awesome. Story 25. Hire a cleaner. Not every day, but once a week. I can cope with dishes and laundry, but I don't have the time for cleaning windows, the shower, skirting boards, and cupboards regularly. It's just not in me. Story 26. Ridiculously expensive audio setup. A big library in my home. All the records I could possibly want. I'd have the money to buy all the rare media I want. Story 27. Go to inner city schools and pledge to fund the college education of any students who want to study science, technology, engineering and mathematics, law, or political science. Yeah, I know rich people only fund sports. Story 28. I don't know how rich people can just fly across the country for a weekend trip. Even if you can afford it, that jet lag would make me miserable the whole time. But that said, I bet it would be fun as hell to just casually go somewhere new. Story 29. Spa membership and chartering a private jet to take the family on vacation. Donating money and my time to community programs, food banks, and other charities. Story 30. I would have full-time service providers. A housekeeper and a private chef come to mind. Although I like to cook, so it might be only a few nights a week with the chef. No live-in service providers, though. I think that's strange. And if I were really, really rich, I would have a house manager who oversaw all things related to the house. Like, I am not calling the plumber when something breaks. It's a true luxury of just existing in your home like it's a hotel, and someone else handles all the details. Story 31. I'd also buy a mountain, build my dream home, live there permanently, and only allow for deliveries and servants. I loathe the congestion of even the small city that I live in, which 10 years ago was a small town. Story 32. I would take the following checklist and find the most attractive woman I could afford from each line. Negroid phenotype, Bantu Nilotic, Mandaic, Cushitic, Caucasoid phenotype, Nordic/Germanic, Celtic, Slavic, Caucasus, Arabid, Levantid, Mongoloid phenotype, Siberian/Eskimo, Mongolic, Americanid, Amazonian, Polynoic, Koreanic, Japonic, Taiwanic, Mekongic, Amerindians, Australoid phenotype, Melanoid, Australid. Story 33. Avoiding taxes through offshore operations, exerting my economic power to influence politics through lobbying, probably own a news outlet, drink really, really good rare whiskey and wine. Story 34. Skiing and snowboarding. I've lived in Denver for 2 years now and basically don't go into the mountains from November through March, give or take, because everything is seasonally twice its summer price. Story 35. I would get myself into high-end real estate and work to buy, fix, and sell from there so I stay rich long-term. Granted, I would have a house to myself with a full gym, a hot tub, sauna, and a modern style. Story 36. I'll be honest, I don't know. I'm at a point in my life where I can afford things I want, so it wouldn't be materialistic. I guess I would do a full-on world tour, like 2 to 3 years of going around the world. Story 37. I'm sure this is boring, but this is what I would do. Build a nice house with all of the options that I want on some land. Buy a car, SUV, and a truck with all of the amenities that I desire. I wouldn't buy anything that screams, I'm rich. Though, pay for my daughter's college. Go on a few vacations a year. Buy some land next to mine and build a house for my close family members. Become a dedicated advocate. I would bring awareness to mental health issues and try to end the stigma associated with mental illness. I would advocate for victims of domestic violence and bring awareness to the types of abuse that people encounter. Many people aren't aware that they're being abused because it isn't physical abuse. I would also advocate for autism because it is often misunderstood. Many parents aren't educated on it, even though their child has been diagnosed. It hinders their child's ability to succeed, so educational information needs to be easily accessible. Story 38. I would keep my current house, car, friends, and basic lifestyle. I would swap my job for philanthropy and take slightly longer vacations. The biggest change would be nicer airline seats. Story 39. When I was a kid, I was enamored with the idea of buying my own sports franchise, like owning a National Basketball Association team or a Premier League team. It's a good investment if you get things right, and also the glory of winning all those trophies. Story 40. Someone to do all the things like a housekeeper, a chef, a personal accountant, and maybe a driver. Lawn care. It's not that I mind doing all those things except taxes and finances. Those are awful because I'm poor. It's just that I have no time or mental energy for them. Having the means to comfortably pay for them would free up my time to do things I enjoy. Oh, and I would want to not work multiple jobs. Story 41. I would do pet projects like build schools where there are none, buy jungle lots and close them off from forestry as nature reserves, have a personal anti-whaling submarine fleet, and fund teach everybody how to fish initiatives. All of that seems like it must be fun. Story 42. Traveling. Picking up the tab for friends, family, and anyone who might need it. Creating entire rooms to indulge in specific hobbies like music and video games. Having a library packed with books. Having a really nice gym, personal trainer, and personal chef. Donating money to charity. Story 43. Not working, going off the grid, not having any social media presence, learning outdoor hobbies like horseback riding, fencing, etiquette school, pursuing further studies in Europe, pursuing a full-blown cooking hobby, traveling internationally whenever I want to. Story 44. I am so bad at golfing, but I think having a solid group of 3 or 4 buddies who are doing well in life and chatting while golfing a few times a week sounds nice. Story 45. Probably buy a house plus everything I already buy now, just with less guilt. DoorDash every day or get a personal chef. Buy better computer parts, custom build a bigger version of my mini juice box style PC. More lightsabers, probably another bookshelf. I do want a lot of hidden rooms in my house one day though, so maybe that. Story 46. I like to stay busy and will always have goals and intellectual pursuits. I'd never be the type on a permanent vacation, even if I was a billionaire, but it would be nice to not have to make money as I pursue them. I could be more efficient and focus a lot more. Story 47. Unsuspecting home with high-end mid-century modern furniture and all the modern amenities. Can't forget radiant floor heating. Collect Porsches, have at least one made by Singer or Gunther Works. Comprehensive health checkup. Private chef that makes meals that work for my body. Shop at high-end stores like it's the thrift store. Story 48. Setting aside money for my kids to go to college. Investing in a promising local business. Having a summer home in the mountains and a beach house further south for the winter. Meeting all my personal power needs with rooftop solar.